Hi there, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I'd like to talk to you today about something called compliance. And what I mean by that is compliance with medical treatment. It's really important that if you go to the doctor and the doctor sets out a certain protocol for medications, for exercise, for icing, whatever it may be, that you do everything your doctor says to do. Because judges these days, if they see that you're not cooperating, they may decide that you are not making reasonable effort to improve your situation, and they can use that to find you less credible and to deny your claim. And let me give you an example. This is kind of an interesting case that happened to me a few days ago. I had a client, a very credible young man, who had been born with a severe hip deformity. He had surgery as a young child, and then later on he had some additional procedures done. He worked at a fairly heavy labor type of thing. He was truck driving and lifting a lot of things, a lot of wear and tear in the hip basically. And by the time he reached his 30s, his mid-30s, his hip was becoming a real problem. He contacted the doctor, went and had surgery was recommended to do a hip replacement. They did a hip replacement. The problem is, because of this congenital deformity, the hip replacement was not successful in restoring motion and relieving pain. About a year later, he went in with a different doctor for a revision of that hip surgery. That was not successful either, and basically for the last year and a half he's been staying at home in a recliner in a great deal of pain. So again, it sounded like a pretty good case. The issue though is that when we talked about medications, he wasn't taking any. And basically he said to me, you know, my doctors gave me a prescription for narcotic pain medications. I just didn't want to take them because I've heard you could get addicted to these things, and I don't want to go that route. So here we have a guy that's basically a relatively younger individual, mid-30s. He's sitting at home. He's not filling his prescriptions, and he's basically suffering in pain. And I feel bad for him because I think he's really in a lot of pain. At the hearing, though, the judge was just incredulous. You know, why are you not taking pain medications? Because I think in the judge's mind, she's thinking, well, you know, if you took pain medications at some level because you've been referred to pain management, maybe you could perform some sort of a sit-down type of job. Because again, for Social Security purposes, even if you have a moderate level of pain, you can still do some kind of work, certain kinds of sit-down kind of work. So she just could not get it through her head that he did not want to take pain medications because he didn't want to take them. And I think that it would have been better had he had a better reason. I mean, maybe if he had had addiction in his family, he could point to that. If he couldn't afford it, he could point to that. If he had had bad allergic reactions to pain medications, he could point to that. Anything other than, I just don't want to take those pain medications. So essentially what he's saying to the judge is, I'd rather sit here at home in pain all day than to do anything, even taking non-prescription. He wouldn't even take a Tylenol, Advil, aspirin, anything like that. And he'd rather basically sit in his recliner in excruciating pain all day long as opposed to doing something to help himself. So again, I'm not sure what the judge is going to do with this, and I think that there's certainly evidence, or there's certainly a case law that says that a judge cannot hold it against you if you don't take certain types of treatment. In other words, if the doctor had recommended surgery, back surgery or knee surgery or hip surgery, and the claimant says, I don't want to do that, they can't hold it against you for not undergoing surgery. But the question is, can the judge hold it against you for not taking a Tylenol, not taking any kind of pain medication that maybe would reduce your level of pain to the point where you might be able to work? So again, I don't know what's going to happen in this case, but I would just tell you that if for some reason you're not adhering to what your doctor is suggesting, whether it's aqua therapy or medications or exercises, whatever the case may be, tell your lawyer about it and explain why you're not able to do it, and come up with a pretty good reason so that you're not just in a hearing saying, I just don't want to because I don't want to. Judges expect something more than that, and again, they're under a lot of pressure not to approve cases. So again, hopefully this case will be approved because my client's condition is pretty bad, but I could tell the judge was really kind of struggling with, you know, what's going on here? Why is he not taking these pain medications? And of course, they don't want people who are looking for a reason to get on disability, and ultimately, the judge has the option of saying, I didn't find his testimony credible about pain in general, and use that to deny the claim. So judges have bases to deny a claim without necessarily reporting in their decision what they're really thinking. And again, if they think that a person is really not trying very hard, that can be a reason ultimately to result in a denial of your claim. So I would urge you to be compliant with your doctor's recommendations. If your doctor is suggesting something you just simply cannot tolerate, be it exercise, be it medications, or you can't afford, that's okay. But again, you need to build that record to show what's going on and let your doctor know, so that doesn't come across you're just simply not trying very hard. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, my name is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a disability attorney here in Atlanta, Georgia. Any questions, please let me know, and until next time, we'll see you soon.